So is there any particular reason for us wearing masks today?
I guess so. Maybe for fun. Why not?
Лукаем квадроба.
This is so cute.
So is there anything you would recommend to modern kids?
Fortnite and
Roblox.
yeah, and
Yeah.
PUBG. What is exactly Gopnik?
The cosplayers, the anime manga lovers, the K-pop, J-rock, so all of that community.
I will have to do my homework and then I will go for a walk. You go into the to the street and you shout like, "Oh yeah!
Are you there? I'm waiting for you."
Big Apple.
Hello and welcome to our Big Apple School Podcast, the one where we discuss the life, the universe, and everything. And the main goal of our podcast is to improve your listening skills. And today we have me, Егор, your host, and...
Nina. Oh my God.
Ooh, and...
Uj, I'm here.
And...
And Alena.
Dear viewers and listeners, especially viewers, I guess you may have noticed we're wearing some kind of masks. So is there any particular reason for us wearing masks today?
I guess so. Maybe the topic of our podcast today.
You mean the topic of our podcast is that we're going to discuss kids these days? Right. And is there anything like that is connected between animals and kids these days?
Yes, there is.
All right. Also, it reminded me, since I'm the teacher and you're the teachers, we usually interact with kids and adults as well, but yeah, kids in general. What was your latest interaction with a kid?
So we weren't talking about Halloween, but I was listening to my student, and she's, you guys know that, like 13-year-old, student, and she's so much talkative, so tells everything, Well, so this is the sort of interaction between the teacher and the student in English, so why not, when the student, is open, is so cheerful, discusses the things that bother them probably, maybe some problems that they have, this is so good for their progress and development.
What do you usually speak about?
On some things that might happen in her life. Probably something that she saw, interesting films. She watched for the first time Shrek films. And she was so happy to tell me everything about all that stuff. I think we were like, we grew up watching those films, and for them, it's something new, something old actually. To watch, right?
The new classics.
Yes. And so she really liked that, because the humor was, nice.
All the songs are really
The
good.
songs are really nice. The dubbing, if you watch it in Russian, is quite good. So if you watch some films from the 2000s, so they're quite good. Quite well dubbed.
You usually discuss like the media stuff.
Not only, maybe some stuff happening at school, maybe something happening in their personal life, or the way they actually want to share. Probably, maybe not really deep personal things, not the really deep psychological things, because like I'm not a psychologist, so to say, right? But sometimes, well, we're like big ears, big listeners.
Sometimes there should be a person who you should speak to.
Just listen.
Yeah, I usually sometimes this thing to my students: if you need someone to speak to, like I'm usually around. They usually don't come. They don't use this advice. But I think it's nice in your life to have a person who will not necessarily do anything for you, but who will just listen to you and like won't criticize you.
And you know that person is always there for you.
Right. So what about you and kids?
I had a 6-year-old girl. Actually, yesterday we sang songs, we danced, we counted cats on my sweater, and we had fun. Actually, she can't speak English, she's learning how to do it. But still, she shares with me some school, I can't say problems, but some actions she did there. and it's very important to me. And we are learning how to say good things to each other, like you're a good girl, you're so smart,
Compliments,
thank you, you're beautiful. I think it's very important. If you are kind to them, they're kind to you.
When she complains, does she, or when you discuss her, like her school, does she ever say like, oh, my classmate is such an idiot?
Oh, no. She's just like the beginner. It's only her first term finished, and she's very inspiring about her school, about her schoolmates. No disappointments. So I'm waiting for about a couple of years.
When it all starts.
Yes, you're right.
Let's hope that she's going to have the best school life, just like better than anybody else had.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess the most remarkable one was last week.
Oh.
From the group, a student from the group that we are sharing together. So we were covering a unit about like repair, customization, and fixing things and everything. So I asked the guys or the girls in class, or have you ever customized anything? So one of them just said, all right, I have a guitar and I doodle it a little bit on it. So I customized my electric guitar, and I was like, wow. So, and then the conversation progressed into, all right, what is your favorite band? Are you into rock? Are you into metal? So we had kind of like 10 minutes talk at the end of the lesson. That was cool. So it's nice to have the same frequency with a student that you are also into like rock music or whatever.
Let me guess, it was a student with the name starting with L.
And
Oh.
L is also,
yes,
he's also into they're
I know
friends.
the voice. Wait a second.
But
He's also into it.
that is so cool, because when I was the teenager, I had only my friends listening to pretty much the same music as I did, and that's it. Like only I felt like there were 3 of us in the whole city. In our school, I felt like I was the only person listening to rock music. All the rest were listening to pop, R&B, or they would like just, I'm not into music, sorry.
I feel you. I feel you.
So if I had a teacher, a male teacher of English who also was into rock music, like, that would be cool.
Things would be different, right? Yeah.
Unfortunately, in our lessons, we don't have time to discuss such such topics.
Just
we must study.
bit.
Just a
Just
bit.
must
Yeah,
study.
that was the end of the lesson. So that was cool. I wish we had, that kind of topic. But yeah.
Once I was at school, I think at school with a group of students, and they were just running around. And one of them saw the screen of my computer and the labels of the games, of the computer games I used to have there. And the student was so shocked, like,
Oh my God, you play games.
You play computer games. You play
know
the
how
World
to
of
turn them on?
Warcraft. Yes. So are you per Horde or Alliance? And they're like, oh my goodness.
For the Horde.
For the Horde.
That's correct answer.
Right. So that's the point. So they're sometimes so surprised.
What was another phrase like, I've got the power which my father haven't even dreamed of. Sometimes I think that's one of the main reasons why people and kids and teenagers go to internet, because this is probably the easiest way nowadays to find some support to your interests. When I was younger, like internet was already in its blooming state, I would say, but still it wasn't that easy to find communities there. It wasn't that easy to find people who really shared your interests and like to group together. And nowadays I think it's much easier. There are tags, there are social medias,
communities,
and there are social medias about a certain thing in general. Like, for example, I don't know, Tumblr. If you've ever been to Tumblr, like you may notice that people there, they have a special state of mind, and like they share
their own vibe.
Yes. They share this vibe. Right. So what do you think? Like, is this the reason for kids to like internet that much?
You mean it's easy to being like belonging into a group, or yeah, definitely. So as you said, when we were like kids or younger, so we were we were definitely on the street trying to find our friends, right? Let's do something. It's kind of survival of the fittest. So if you couldn't find, all right, you just need to go back home and just sit down. That's it. So no mobile phones, no internet, no whatever. But now they're just texting or just typing something, and they can talk about a topic and hours and hours. So that's kind of easy.
Exactly. So we were born before the internet.
We're prehistoric.
And they are...
I'm sorry to say, but sometimes I feel in that way.
Sometimes I forget this. We need a person in our life who would remind that to us from time to time. Like every morning you wake up, there's like, Егор, you are prehistoric. Thank you, inner voice. I have almost forgot that.
I feel in that way. I don't know.
And the kids, the modern kids, so they are native to the internet. So they were born with the technology. So of course they live with it. So for us, this is just a tool, just an interesting tool for whatever reasons we have to use it. For them,
for work mostly,
maybe for fun. Work. Why not? But for them, it's everything. So it's like part of their life. So huge part of their life. So for communicating, for complaining, for studies, right? So because nowadays a huge part of studying goes online, in certain schools, right? But anyway.
I wonder, how does it go these days? Because I remember if when I was younger, you misbehaved, your parents would take your laptop, would take your
the teleprogram, the newspaper with the teleprogram,
or Tetris,
or the remote.
You mean to hit you?
No. So they would stab you. They would take it and hide it.
Yeah. Or like later, maybe a smartphone. Well, we didn't have smartphones back then. Just a phone or the internet connection or anything. So they would punish you this way, and you would be like, okay, then I guess I will have to do my homework, and then I will go for a walk. And you remember, like, there were no like these code locks on the doors when you could like pick. Hello, is anybody home? Or you couldn't text your friend, so you would come to your friend's house,
knock the door,
on the fifth floor, and there was this metal door which you couldn't open. So you either wait for some neighbor to come out, or you go into the to the street, like to the front side, and you shout like, "Oh yeah,
are you there? I'm waiting you. Come down here."
And nowadays, I think if a parent takes away a smartphone and internet from a kid, they just cut them out from life. Or am I wrong?
I guess so. I guess most of their time depends on the social media, as far as I know. So I guess they feel depressed if they don't get any interaction with their friends or with the topics that they are into. I don't know. I would survive without the social media, but I don't think they would. I don't know.
But I guess some people still have old-fashioned friends. Like you could still go out and walk with your friends, have some. But you see, that's kind of like one of the topics which I mentioned before. If you have some specific interests, if you have some specific interests which are not supported by your friends or classmates, the internet might be your only way out, like to find the people who would listen to you. And to be without internet in that case might be a terrible evening.
You know, I live in a quite interesting neighborhood, so that this thing might work for some kids, but for others, they would just go out and have fun, because we have the huge ice skating rink, which is in summer for football, in winter for ice skating, and the mamas of all the neighborhood, so they're like, like hawks, so they observing, the kids out of the window, and the old-fashioned way, they sometimes like, Masha,
it's time to go home. Time to go for lunch.
Right. So in that case, I think in my particular neighborhood, the kids would survive because, right, if it's not late night, yes. But in other ways, so maybe if the parents are wise enough to introduce their kids to the books.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So that might work too. Why not? Because it's like the huge universe in each one.
Or video games.
Books
But I
are
guess
better.
books are better. I admit that. I just like you need to have some kind of way to see other people's minds, like to get into other people's fantasies, just to understand other people's perspectives. And at least if it's not books, let it be something else. Songs as well, like poetry, drawing.
Sport?
I guess, but sport, I think it's a bit different.
Anyway, it's a really huge opportunity to, to understand yourself maybe better.
Or your potential, maybe.
Right,
what
or
you can do,
interact
what you
with
can't.
other people, especially if it's some sort of martial art. Wow, it's so good. It's such an interactive sport, or maybe team sports. Yeah, good idea. So,
Well, I guess disciplines in some way. Talking about sport and education in general, like the way that people shove information into people's heads, let's start with such a gigantic topic of, do you think that modern standards of education
In Russia, especially.
in general, but and in particular in Russia, are they apt for modern kids? Like, or have you ever, as a teacher, have you ever felt like, no, this is not what we should do in the lesson. The lesson should be in a different way.
My lessons are perfect, like every time. But if we speak about like general school system in Russia, I guess, yes, it's time to change something.
because we have very interesting ESL community, we have the ministers, and it seems that they do not communicate
with
at
kids
all.
or
And
with each other.
kids, with each other first, because we are the teachers and we are much closer to the parents and the kids we are teaching, so than the Ministry of Education, for instance. And so the programs sometimes they are so much confusing, so not just parents and kids. The teachers who are supposed to actually bring this information to their students, and we're like, and what I must do with that?
So I don't know if you know it or not, but I was working in a state school for about a year. It wasn't the best experience of my life. Tried to get away from there as soon as it was possible. But yeah, like my general impression of a 45 minute lesson in a state school, it was like the main goal wasn't to teach in the information. It was just the kids should be there, they should be safe.
Assign something and wait for them to do it in a way.
No, I mean, still I tried to make my lessons a bit more interesting at least from the height of my teaching experience back then. But I mean, the expectations were low. You weren't dragged to higher expectations. Like nobody would say, Егор, do something, but your kids must know this. Nobody really cares that much. Maybe in some schools, I'm not saying about all the state schools, but I mean, that was my general impression about a state school. Speaking about the good things, I think that the standard testing, also known as ЕГЭ, ОГЭ, is a good thing. I can tell you why, but first I would like to hear your opinions.
For me right now, it's kind of sport. That's all. You know the tricks, you are skilled enough, you can take a medal. That's all.
So each year you...
Yes, I train my students. We do it together, we walk through, we get points, high points, that's all. And it doesn't surprise me anymore. I lose all the interest in it, unfortunately.
But I mean, generally, what do you think about the system of giving the standard testing?
I don't know. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, the side maybe of the dark side of Russian education system, because it's not about the real knowledge, it's about the skill, that's all.
If you remember it correctly, the rules
if you
and
know the
everything, you can get
cliches,
the
if you know
medal.
how to do the tests.
It's not related with the skill,
Yep.
I think. Okay, fair enough. I don't have too much idea about that state exams in Russia, so
But in Turkey, do you have a standard
We
test?
have, but as Nina said, it's if you remember the rule and if you know the tricks, all right, you're gonna get a result. So it's not about all right how skillful you are. All right, if you have a good memory, okay, you can get it.
I don't know. Like if you know all of the tricks, but you don't have the langu, you don't know the language, like then nothing could help you. You may learn all the tricks, but it won't get you the pass score.
I'm not also sure about Turkey. I've been away for years and years. So, but the last time I was there, people knew how to pass the exam without pushing their limits. So it was kind of all right. So I need to do this, do that, and okay, I'm gonna get a high score that I need. That was it. So yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'm neutral, let's say.
in my opinion, it is a good thing. But so the thing which upsets me that the standard changes every year. So there are bits and pieces which change every year, and so that's why so we cannot get the beautiful picture of a beautiful test every time. So that's why the tutors, the teachers are upset with it. So that's why it is so frustrating to the kids to take this test for their future universities and institutes, right? Because they were training to do one thing for several years, for instance, right? And so this year when they have to pass the exam, so something changes and they're like, all over again. So let's start with just level 1.
It's not sustainable. So okay.
So that's the point which makes me sad. Yeah.
On the other hand, I think standard testing really takes away a lot of edge from the exams. Like it saves a lot of time and it gives the students the opportunity to be in a different city, to study with the profession they really wanted to study, even if their parents don't have resources to send them to another city to take exams. So I think for kids from smaller regions or further away regions, like it might be a good opportunity. A few of my classmates, because of the standard testing, they were able to study at like MGU, I think, or some other like good universities.
State universities.
Moscow government university.
State university.
Moscow State.
State.
Yeah, so that is the great point about the standard testing. So, if we had the standard test as, for instance, like FCE, CAE, so when the standards haven't changed for a while there, so with the decent tutoring, so you can get the necessary level, and maybe in a year, with the same sort of tutoring, you can maybe get another try, So nowadays with our local state exams, you cannot do that because
that also discourages the students, I guess, right? So this is the system. Whoever knows the trick, okay, they would do it. But if I don't know what to do, okay, it's useless to take to that exam in a way. So that would lead them to think in a negative way and being disappointed. I don't know.
I personally don't like the speaking part of OB and YG because sometimes the pictures are very strange and they can be really confusing, not only for a student, but for you as a professional speaker. And I think it's not fair to the student. He's in shock already. He's here like us in all set.
What am I supposed to do right now?
Yes, just like what to say, actually.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, but on the other hand, that's a special genre of those exam speaking photos. Like whenever you see one, you know, like this is the one, and they have this certain feeling around them, like there is something always happening in the photo, but at the same time, nothing is happening in the photo. So you kind of like, how do you achieve such results? But yeah, I agree that exams, they put a lot of pressure on kids. And kids try to deal with pressure in different ways. As we discussed before, they try to find communities, they try to find some ways to find some resolutions from stress. But do remember that one of the ways to communicate with your peers was subcultures. So previously, when I was younger, our subcultures were mainly divided by music genres.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first question which you would have got when you entered a new school, like, are you a rocker or a hip-hopper?
Or popper. Yeah.
Well, nobody wanted to be a popper because
that
the
was
word
a lame
pop
one.
in Russia sounds almost like butt.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, I don't want to be a popper. I can listen to pop music, but you wouldn't say I listen to pop music. You would just say names. Or you would say, I'm a music lover. That was the most pathetic one. I'm a music lover.
I listen everything.
To anything that I was able to download through the infrared port of my phone.
For the viewers and the listeners, so this is the thing which we used before the Bluetooth connection.
Prehistoric
Prehistoric, yeah.
Right. Roar, dinosaur. I remember there were punks, metalheads, who else? Gopniks. But these were like, I don't know.
Informals in general. Yeah.
Informals, yeah.
Alternatives.
Yeah,
Alternatives,
we didn't have the word alternatives back then. We called them informals.
Informals.
Okay.
The first time I heard this word was from a security guy in my school. He looked at my
Outfit?
sweater, and he was like, are you an informal? I was like,
yes, formal. What is the problem?
I didn't know what to answer because I didn't get the question. Right, so what do you know about the subcultures of modern kids nowadays? I see it in your eyes.
I guess I would say Minecraft. They're into Minecraft and Minecraft communities, and they're building their own worlds. And they're communicating. They're buying stuff, selling stuff, and that's all I know about digital world. Like, I don't know what else.
Then Fortnite
Roblox,
and
PUBG or whatever. PUBG. It's like the Fortnite.
Baby in yellow.
It's the battle royale genre. It's when there is a group of players being landed with parachutes on some kind of map, and the map gets smaller by some invisible walls, and you have to kill everyone in order to survive. The title of the genre comes from this Japanese movie. I don't remember who's the director, but I remember there was Takeshi Kitano in some secondary, as a supporting cast. A group of naughty school children, Japanese school children, were brought to an island with the request to kill each other because they were so naughty.
It sounds like
Royal
an adaptation.
Battle, yeah?
Battle Royale,
It sounds like an adaptation, like Lord of the Flies. Like,
the Russian one by Lukyanenko, the Knights of the 40 Islands.
Cool.
Cool one.
So it's all connected, the same ideas.
Great
so
one.
you see...
People always wanted to kill kids, you know?
Not us, no, not us. We are teachers,
but the modern kids really liked this idea to kill each other, so it was turned into the video game where they kill each other
virtually.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a modern Counter-Strike, kind of.
I think
I never played.
In terms of popularity, it is
PUBG.
Even there or higher. But I mean, the basic idea that you are there to kill other students, to kill other school children, that's what you do.
Okay. Good luck, fellas.
All right, subcultures.
K-poppers.
Oh, I remember again from my prehistoric memory that at first there was J-pop and J-rock.
Yes,
it was a very niche genre.
Baby metal, the first representatives.
And that's it. And very few people who I guess were into anime would listen to such.
Exactly.
But then
it was, like the foam, on the
crème de la crème
of the anime subculture. Yes,
crème de la crème, or as some uneducated English speakers can say, cream de la cream.
Cream de la cream.
Like the top of the top.
Whatever you say. Right, exactly. So, yeah. And there were really popular J-rock bands and J-pop bands, and they are still popular nowadays.
Maximum the Hormone from the opening to Death Note.
Baktik, yes.
Google it later, please.
It's just deep into my heart. Yeah.
But then K-pop suddenly appeared from nowhere. At least that's how it happened for me.
And I was in the middle of Vietnam at that time.
So you didn't have
Flashback.
V-pop?
No, so they were highly kind of under the influence of K-pop. And everyone was kind of like jumping or just saying and putting
Like,
their nicknames.
Saranghe.
Yeah, then, oh my God. And I was trying to figure out what's going on in here. So I was prehistoric back then too, so I couldn't get
Is it time to start Battle Royale?
Let's start. Yeah, let's keep it up with that.
So,
yeah, I suffered a lot.
I think back that time I was right into the cosplay community. So with the makeups, with the
There
costumes.
was a division.
No, at the beginning it was like a huge mixture of all of us. Yes, so the cosplayers, the anime manga lovers, the K-pop, J-rock, so all of that community kind of the second hated. So first it was something like gopniks, and then they were poor anime kids. Yeah.
I guess I know the team,
The meaning of the words.
but yeah, what is exactly gopnik?
Have you heard about, I don't know, this trend like Slavic squat?
Okay.
So it's like, when you wear trackies, like the pants with
Mostly
tracks.
Adidas?
Mostly,
Yeah, okay.
counterfeit Adidas.
Counterfeit, of course.
Right.
I got it.
Abibas.
Abibas or whatever. Ababi or whatever.
Also, you must have a short haircut, a buzz cut.
Maybe
Like a
with,
jar head.
with a fringe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the main idea is to be aggressive towards people who are weaker than you, like to take money from younger school children. So that was the
Literally, it is
subculture.
being bandit.
And who are not
yeah,
skinheads, because skinheads can punch you. The kid-
Skinheads.
Yeah,
Yes.
we used to have skinheads also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost forgot about that.
In Russia.
We
What
used to,
wonderful
we used to.
subculture it was, just like this.
In Russia, you had
Yes.
skinheads,
But
really.
I mean, we had trads, like traditional skinheads who weren't into the racial prejudice or anything. We had.
I didn't know that.
At one moment, I don't even know why and when, somehow everything disappeared.
because of the informals. So they
have
just
eaten them.
swallowed
Yeah.
because
They
of
ate
the
them.
music, I think, subdivisions and stuff like that. When skinheads started listening to punk rock, and so they were like, just
Maybe they just grew up and have, like jobs now,
And
freelancers.
families or whatever.
Yeah, kids. They're teaching them. Maybe.
Teaching.
Son of a
Teaching?
gopnik. Oh my God. That would be a new insult in our book. Okay. You
really
son of a
like it.
gopnik. I'm sorry.
That's speaking about prehistoric times. Yeah, when
Yeah,
music were
bring it up.
divided by genres. And I remember at one moment when I started teaching, and it was like not so long after I was a teenager. I was like, I was in the early 20s, or even in the late in my teenage, like 19 or something. And I've noticed kids back then weren't already into subcultures. They were like, oh, we are just... So I couldn't get like, how come? Like just 5 years ago, everything was divided. And nowadays, there isn't any subculture. And I was waiting for some new music genres, trends to come. But it appeared that it never was about music genres. People just divided into subcultures based on whatever they like. Right. So what do you know about subcultures of modern kids?
my niece dances K-pop.
Right.
Because first it was something like K-dramas. So they were watching them, and
They call them doramas, right?
Doramas in
That's the
Russian,
same?
but K-dramas in English. Yes, because in the K-dramas, so everything is so unexpected. Yeah,
And they eat a lot.
as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And fall in love in stupid situations. So that's why the teenagers, I think it's their target,
Audience,
right? Because this is so beautiful and stuff like that. So from loving K-dramas, the kids tend to do what? So start listening to the music. So my niece tried studying actually Korean language. Yes. So she managed to finish one course definitely, but now...
So it's like A2? She's A2 now?
I think, yes, maybe A2, B1, something like that. So because it's so interesting to understand what's going on in the film. Yes. And then music. And then so she saw the beautiful cover dance. Yes, so what it is exactly. So she's there for a year or so. And I think this is so great when it's a little bit of sport, a little bit of communication, interaction. So, and as for girls, so they also can learn something about makeup there. About sewing things.
Vlogging, yeah, I was thinking about that one. Yeah, the makeup vlogging, shopping vlogging, or I don't know.
It's
I spent that much
subculture.
money and I was like there. Oh, come on. Anyways, yeah, but yeah, it's kind of a new kind of hype.
So, and it develops one thing from another, like a chain of events. Yeah, so, and that's beautiful because of that.
So you become an adult, independent person, but you also gain some skills on the way. When you started speaking about the Korean language, it reminded me that maybe one of the reasons they study Korean is because they want to know what the songs are about. Because when I was younger again, when people would say, why do you always listen to your English songs? You don't know what they're singing about. What if they tell bad words about you in these songs? I was like, okay, I don't mind.
Now look at me, I'm a teacher. I understand everything.
Now I know what they sing about. So.
Yes, because we listened to Eminem because it was just fun at the beginning. Now we can listen to it because it's
like not so fun anymore. Any other subcultures?
Maybe my opinion is not so popular, but I think that being busy is a new subculture too. Because a lot of children, kids, they go to different after-school clubs, they have a lot of different sport activities, and they're all really busy.
That's called being Sigma.
Yeah, it's maybe. And their parents are very interested in their results. And my yesterday girl, she is also learning Korean. She is doing singing somewhere, dancing, and she is
acting classes. And
Guys, even fencing. The girls take fencing classes, and this is wow.
Horse
riding.
Hobby
horses.
I was thinking about eating.
Eating horses. Well, that was a subculture a long time ago. Okay, hobby horsing, but I think that was just a trend rather than a subculture. On the other hand, there are trends about animals connected. Like, have you heard anything about quadrobing? Oh,
we have heard.
Yeah. All right. Have you ever seen a quadrobber?
Not in real life.
Nope.
No.
Have you ever seen a quadrobber in internet?
Yes.
What
I checked. I checked.
What was it like? Like, I mean, I haven't even seen a picture. I mean, I saw one in real life, but I'm not sure he was, but at least he claimed to be a quadrobber. But what do they look like in internet?
Like we? Right now?
Like us?
Like yes, with all of the masks. Like, look, I'm a quadrobber. I can say it.
But one more thing which is different. So they are running on all fours.
Quadro, that's four. Quadro.
Four limbs.
So is there any particular reason to hate them?
A few days back, I had a conversation with a young mom.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's my student and we've been working together for quite a long time. And she was like, you know what? I have just known about this sort of trend among kids and teenagers. And she was like, this is so cute.
Cute, okay.
Wow, I thought back then. Because a lot of things nowadays criticized about this trend or this subculture, whatever. And for this girl, it was like, this is so cute. So do you remember, Alena, so what stupid things we used to do? And I was like,
I used to eat sand or pebbles, so that wasn't like near similar to what they are doing
now,
right
such a beautiful man.
Or like sniffing the glue, and I was, it's cool.
Don't tell all the secrets.
Sorry, guys. I revealed the dark side of like being prehistoric.
Or being an English teacher.
Yes, yeah, that's how we operate. Yeah.
Right.
And so for some people who are not deep into the news section of their feed and stuff like that, so for them it's like kids having fun, so do whatever you want, so dance K-pop or run on all your fours. So
kids are okay, but what about the adults? Like think about an adult like having a mask and just trying to walk on four limbs. Think about a 50-year-old guy. Wouldn't be
sounds
kind of
like role playing, you know.
I would say, are you high? or you have problems or issues or whatever. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think
it's just the classic generation gap.
That's why it's not easy for me to comprehend.
Prehistoric mind.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's funny that this topic is really criticized and discussed in Russia, because in Russia we have a classical book by Turgenev called Fathers and Children about the generation gap and how people of different generations do not understand each other. Pretty much this conflict is depicted well enough in this book. Well, there was a different example, of course, like the younger one was the nihilist. Like, I'm a nihilist. I don't believe in anything. There is nothing good on this planet.
Nothing exists.
Typical emo teenager back in the days. Kids are kids, being kids. Like we should also recall another classics, like, hey, teachers,
leave those kids alone.
Leave those kids alone.
Dude. Absolutely. Because adults, I think they tend to forget they were kids.
Maybe they never were.
Maybe.
It's deeper.
Yes.
I read classics.
Russian classics. You're talking. That's possible.
Right. So, and I don't know, again, this generation gap and the misunderstanding tends to actually influence those kids. So they are growing up, they are trying to understand who they are, so what they are going to do with themselves, with their lives, who they are going to be. And not only teachers and parents, but also the ministry of whatever is going to tell them what to do and not to do.
Cut. Cut here.
Yeah. No. I mean, but that was wow. I needed some time to process it, but then I was like, wow.
I'm going to be a politician when I'm old.
Oh, of course. You have
when I'm an
chances.
adult.
Yes. When I grow up.
Yeah. So is there anything you would recommend to modern kids in terms of media, advice, tips, just do or don't do anything?
Teach children how to read. Make them love reading a lot. I think it's the best advice ever.
That's deep. Also, I usually tell to my students who are capable to understand what I'm saying, I ask them, what is the best way to learn something? But after a couple seconds, I tell them to teach someone. But the second best way is to practice. So now 3 minutes and in dialects, in pairs, start. Read, yes.
Or any kind of fundamentals, how to behave towards people, or how to act in the group, how to be nice to other friends, how to be self-respectfful.
Oh,
so that's the fundamental. Yeah?
Sometimes people forget that you shouldn't only
respect others,
but also respect yourself.
Exactly.
this topic is neglected in a way.
So self-importance also. Yeah.
Right. Anime title?
To watch?
Yes.
So let's start with the basics. Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach.
Or Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, yes. So this is for the old scholars, yes. So then there go some sport animes, to watch. So I can recommend a lot. But it's not about the anime to watch. It's about some interesting things, at least, to absorb, it can be whatever. So the point is to be to be interested yourself and to interest your kid into that. Yeah. So maybe board games. So in our family, when we were teenagers, so it was like a normal evening. Of course, we are prehistoric, all right. But
Scrabble.
It was a lot of board games, maybe card games, not poker, all right. But anyway, so
in a way,
anyway, it was fun. Because so they were our grandparents, sometimes our parents, the friends of the family, our friends and us. So, and we gathered together a huge company of people, so all around the table. Some of them were playing, some of them were just cheering up, So, and that was fun. We still do that with friends, with the parents sometimes, because it's just the vibe we have. Why not? On the way here, I saw mama with her daughter rolling over the Central Park.
Yes,
he's rocking the sack. It's like Russian roulette.
Boiler. That was also good. Yep.
I mean, I haven't seen rollers for quite a long time, and seen the mother and the daughter. Yes, was like, so okay, back in 2000s. Yeah. So because it was really popular back then. Skating. Why not? It was popular and it is popular nowadays.
It's more of a scootering, but still there is skating.
I mean, skating on a board.
Just outside.
On a board,
skateboard.
Yes, on a skateboard outside. This is another subculture, by the way.
Or BMX.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bicycles.
Yes.
That's it.
Flipping the bike and everything. So.
Right. So it takes a lot of skills. Yeah.
Definitely.
But also it can, I don't know, connect people like Nokia.
I agree with all of you. And I think one of the main recommendations that I've heard is like, if you want to teach your kids, like teach yourself first. Like if you want your kids to be different, like change yourself first. Like if you are the person who you are, and if you respect yourself, if you read books, and if you watch anime.
If you're a skateboarder.
If you're a skateboarder. I think
who listens to rock music, I'm sorry.
Your kids
Or
will...
hip-hop.
Right. Or the new metal. Like the combination of hip-hop and rock.
Now it's gent. It turned into a gent music. Yeah.
Beastie Boys also, they were one of the first.
Sabotage. Beastie Boys.
Look at all y'all, it's a sabotage. All right, so following all this simple advice, I think kids will be kids and the kids will be all right. Despite what the Offspring song said, the kids are all right. Right. So, is there any other word that you would like to say to our listeners or viewers?
Let the kids be themselves.
All right.
Don't limit them.
Yes, to some extent.
It's
about their health.
Yeah, just let them be. Let them be.
Let it be.
Oh my God.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it be. Elsa.
I have nothing to say. Actually, I'm into all the prehistoric references we made, and I'm thinking about what should our listeners do to collect them all. How long they will
Catch
be Googling.
them all.
Yeah.
Yes, like Pokemons. Like that.
Pika, pika.
Right. Pika. So they will think about us maybe, like that we are cooler, that we, I don't know, like that we seem, or maybe that No, thank you. Not even more. I can't actually see you as a teacher.
Thank you, everyone, our dear viewers and listeners, for staying with us until that moment. And this was our Big Apple School podcast, the one where we discussed kids these days. And if you want to know more about our school, by the way, we teach English. And if you want to know more about our school and our podcast, please visit BigAppleSchool.com and check out more of our podcast, check out more of information about us, and stay tuned.
Stay cool, stay prehistoric.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
We need a person in our life who would remind that to us from time to time. Like every morning you wake up, there's like, Егор, you are prehistoric. Thank you, inner voice. I have almost forgot that.